Good morning, everybody. My name is Martin. I'm the CEO of Electrify, and this is the first in a series of video blogs we're going to be doing to get a community updated about what's happening over Electrify, because we've got lots of changes, we've got lots of updates. A lot of people are thinking that we're not doing very much, but actually every day is crazy like anything. So we've got lots of things happening. The purpose of this update is going to be about partnerships. So before I start, right, for those of you who've just recently come on and discovered Electrify, what Electrify is, it started out a year ago as an electricity marketplace in Singapore. Why we did that was because we realized there was a need for a lot more transparency in the market itself. So in the course of developing the software to be migrated onto the blockchain itself, we realized that we could also carry out what's known as a peer-to-peer energy trading on a main grid itself. So what's peer-to-peer energy trading? P2P trading, right, has been described by a lot of other recent energy projects. It's basically the ability to allow a prosumer, someone who's got solar panels on their own premises, to generate power and sell that power to someone else who needs that power. So a lot of recent blockchain energy projects talk about carrying out peer-to-peer energy trading across a microgrid, and we found that that was not scalable enough. It had to reach out to more people. On a microgrid, all the parties are known parties, so executing settlement between them is not going to be incredibly complex. But the greater challenge, we thought, was the issue of scalability, the ability to trade power across a main grid, which we thought was going to be very, very important, so we can influence and we can help and reach out to a lot more people and impact a lot more lives. So in the course of this, we developed and designed Synergy, which is our peer-to-peer energy trading platform that occurs over a main grid itself. And that will lead me straight into the main topic for this video blog, because operating on the main grid is a huge endeavor, and we're looking at expanding the project and the business overseas into other markets. We started in Singapore a year ago. Now we're ready to move into countries like Japan and Australia, and when you're operating at that scale, right, we can't do this alone. So talking about Synergy and how it trades power over the main grid, that also leads me into the main topic for this video blog, because when we're talking about executing anything on the main grid, we can't do this alone. The grid is a very, very complex system, especially when we're talking about moving to other countries like Japan and Australia and so on. Every country's got its own set of regulations. That's why we need the partnerships into all these countries. So recently we made several big announcements about working with TEPCO, about working with Narada, for example. So a lot of people asked us, so what's the big deal? Why work with these guys? We took a long time assessing the partnerships we're going to have. To be honest, we actually started talking with TEPCO at the end of 2017, and we actually had a firm decision from them to start working together at the beginning of this year. But we didn't make an announcement. We're still assessing the relationship because we want to be certain these were the right partners to work with. And that's how Electrify operates as well. Not that we're slow, but we want to be very careful about it. We don't want to be making the wrong kinds of mistakes. And the significance really is of having someone like TEPCO on board in the Japanese market is this. Every new market has nuances, has different regulatory requirements. Every new market is huge, it's staggering, it's very, very different. We can't know everything by ourselves. So working with a partner like TEPCO allows us access into things like the research, into things like access to market regulators, for example, understanding what the needs of the markets are, the big consumers are, understanding how the price of power is settled across their grid. So knowing all these, having a partner on board helps us fast-track deployment. And fast-tracking is really, really important, especially if you're a startup. You want to get exposure and reach as much as possible. So in the case of like Narada, for instance, Narada's got projects around the world. I mean, these guys, according to Bloomberg, for example, last year they were the second largest energy storage solutions company in the world. I mean, these guys are on par with the giants. In Singapore, for instance, Their business extends to guys like telcos. A lot of telco data centers, for example, use guys like Narada to carry out storage solutions. So what that means is around the world, a company like Narada, for example, would have gigawatts upon gigawatts of power stored in their battery systems, which forms a very significant amount of power stored within a grid. And that what it allows you to do are several things. One, it provides what's called a reserve. Second thing, it also provides the ability and the opportunity for trading in terms of price arbitrage. So it's because of a partner like this with a large established base, we start modeling up what needs to be done, what can be done, what can be deployed in terms of, say, peer-to-peer energy trading. We look at rolling out very, very quickly because, well, they're already there, as opposed to us trying to knock on doors, break through walls all by ourselves. So that's why partnerships are really, really important. Some other things that people have asked us: are these partners going to be trading your token, or are they going to be taking a large stake in your token? Well, someone asked me that almost exactly the same thing on Telegram just yesterday night. And my reply to that really was quite simple. I said, look, it took even the banking system the longest time to understand or wrap their heads around a concept like Bitcoin, for example. So for the energy space, for them to start embracing blockchain and digital tokens overnight, that's not entirely reasonable. What we're seeing right now is that most of the companies that we're working with or we're talking to, right, they're struggling to understand the space or their relevance within the blockchain space itself. And what we are doing is we're helping them carry out these understandings. So what we find a lot of times, what we're doing is we're helping them engage and understand what exactly blockchain can do for them, where are the savings in terms of cost, in terms of relevance, where are the greater efficiencies, and of course in terms of security and privacy, how it could benefit them and their consumers. So we find ourselves a lot of times acting as almost like consultants, helping them, guiding them along the way. And of course, if we can actually deploy some of the solutions together in that process, it'd be really great as well. So this is why partnerships are really important to us. They're an essential part of the ecosystem. They help us enter new markets. Partnerships also, of course, present far bigger and wider use cases for the Electrify platform, which is of course very, very good and very essential for the community itself. So if you've got any comments or questions about the partnership we've got, please put them in the comments below, or drop us a note on Telegram. We're always listening, and by all means reach us and talk to us. So to wrap this up, remember a while ago we were talking about swag giveaway. Later on today we're going to be putting out the details for that little competition, and it's going to be a lot of fun for the weekend. And lastly, of course, look out for our next video blog. In about 2 weeks we're going to have another one with Julius, and we're gonna have him answer a couple of interesting questions about the updates we've got at Electrify, right? So thank you, and see you guys again.